Hello and welcome to ThePrint. I am Sourav Barman. We are in Murshidabad in West Bengal to cover the violence that has broken out in parts of the district over the weekend against the new legislation on Waqf. For this interview, we have been joined by senior Congress leader Adhir Ranjan Chowdhury, who is a former MP of Baharampur, who falls in Murshidabad district. He is among the most prominent political faces of the region. So, as someone who's represented Baharampur, she's part of Murshidabad, not once, not twice, but 5 times. What do you make of this violence?
See, everybody knows that the district Murshidabad is predominantly a Muslim district. You can easily assume the demographic composition of the Murshidabad district. According to the terms of percentage, Anantnag represents the highest percentage of Muslims in India. But in absolute term, Murshidabad districts stand for the highest Muslim population across the country.
In absolute terms.
In absolute terms. During the partition, the district Murshidabad was declared independence 2 days after 1950. 15th August 1957. But what is perturbing me that I have never witnessed this kind of brutal, severe communal conflagrations in the district Murshidabad. Once upon a time when I used to go parliament to represent my district, I was boasting myself of the fact that when inside the parliament we are discussing about secularism, Murshidabad district represented as a glaring example of what is called communal harmony, communal amity, and in extension, the concept of secularism. In the districts, more than 70% population belongs to Muslim community. But I had been elected 5 consecutive terms. Not only that, even I had invited the departed leader, our former President Pranab Mukherjee ji, to contest his electoral career from my district.
Yes, Jangipur.
From Jangipur. Initially, he was absolutely hesitant. And was under the impression that being a Muslim-dominated district, how a Brahmin leader could contest and rest upon the seat from the clutch of the Communist Party. But we had made it done successfully. So that is why I have just referred you that the situation, the privileged situation, has been perturbing myself. And I am really a little bit confounded that how this kind of situation has been occurred in my district. And I came to the conclusion that there must be some sorts of ulterior motives being played behind it. Their Muslim population may be conservative, yes. A section of Muslim population might be conservative. That is not the fault. But the agitation against the Waqf Amendment Bill was absolutely a peaceful demonstration.
So that was what I was coming to next. So Murshidabad is not the only Muslim majority district in the land. And after the bill was passed in the parliament, we did not see such violence anywhere. So why Murshidabad?
I was about
Right,
to
right.
I was about to narrate that.
Right.
So the Waqf Amendment Bill was opposed to the nail by the Congress Party. My leader Rahul Gandhi ji, in the JPC we fought it hard. Not only that, after passing the bill by the majority of votes, which we call the demonstration of majoritarianism in the country, we had thought it prudent to fight the legislation which is absolutely anti-constitutional in our view to the courts. And we have filed the case in the court also on behalf of my party. So naturally, across the nation, the Muslim people, it is not confined to the people of Muslim community. Rather, it's an agitation being conducted by secular forces, liberal forces across the country who believe in the integrity of constitution, who believe the concept of democracy, who believe the concept of secularism, that this kind of laws should not be passed. And to that end, agitations have been continuing unabated across the nation. But here in the Murshidabad district, I told you earlier, an ulterior motive was given the way in view of impending election. Yes. Bengal has been witnessing gradually an electoral polarization since few years back. Earlier, state of West Bengal was recognized as a state which was practically alien to casteism and communalism. But since the dawn of this century, after 2001-2, in the wake of the electoral alliance between TMC and BJP, the communal polarization has been taking its root in the state of West Bengal, which was practically alien to that kind of political narrative, political jargon. Casteism was alien to us. Communalism was an outlandish theory to us. But now the situation has been drastically changing, and in proportion to the communal overtone of both the ruling and the opposition parties in Bengal, society has been witnessing a certain cleavage, much to the consternation of us. The agitation was conducted very peacefully, but some miscreant, aided and abetted by some inimical forces who tried to disrupt, who tried to turn it into a communal confrontation. And most intriguing to know that the entire administration remained a mute spectator. My query and question is why? the administration left everything at the mercy of those miscreants. Because this is not the new phenomena in my district. Since last Lok Sabha election, only with an objective of defeating myself, here the ruling dispensation, they organized one communal riot in the day of Ram Navami. Not only that, the ruling party's MLA openly stated in the full glare of media that in the district Murshidabad, where 70% population belongs to the Muslim community, we can easily wipe out the entire Hindu population. And it was deliberately displayed by the ruling party's electoral agency in the Hindu villages in order to consolidate the Hindu vote in favor of BJP. The objective was loud and clear: to defeat Adhir Chowdhury, to defeat myself. So one Muslim candidate was fielded, and there was a campaign that since independence, never ever any Muslims are able to win the election. Now that it is an opportune moment for the Muslim population to come and vote for their own community's candidate. But even so, the Muslim population in my constituency have not been convinced by them. The reason for my defeat was that in the wake of the consolidation of Hindu vote, the BJP's vote share surged 2.5-fold than the election of the corresponding years. So, this kind of political polarization has been the ball game of both the ruling and the opposition parties. And Mamata Banerjee has already been well adept of persuading this kind of policy.
So in a way, what we are witnessing right now in Murshidabad is an outcome of the attempts being made by the Trinamool Congress to defeat it since the last Lok Sabha election.
Yes, they are. See, I cannot say that it is only the handiwork of Mamata Banerjee. This kind of polarization suits both
Trinamool and BJP.
Trinamool and BJP. So both of them are very much engaged in the blaming each other, passing the buck to each other. Because this narrative will be suiting both of them. This will be propitious for both of them. It may be an anathema for the common people. But certainly, both the parties, on the one hand BJP and on the other TMC, both will be the beneficiaries of this kind of political narrative. So they are busy in propagating their own way of electoral campaign. And last election, the area Sansergal, where Congress candidate had secured a large chunk of vote, and to that extent, it may be assumed by the ruling party that the seat is destined to be lost by them.
In the assembly election.
Yes. So, they may be infused to sharpen the political divide, communal divide. My another question is, why and under whose instruction the local police administration remained as mere spectator? Why? It was not a new phenomenon for them. They were not caught red-handed. I also suspect that someone inside the police administration, they may play the role of a Trojan horse.
So do you have information?
So I don't have. I told you suspect. I suspect. It is my apprehension. What other reason else which prompted them to remain as mute spectator.
So if I
This is my, relevant question.
Right.
And it may be that someone may play as a fifth column. Someone may play as a Trojan horse to, disrupt the entire situation, to make it more turmoil and to turn it into a communal conflagration in order to serve the purpose of someone else. That may be also. So it requires a thorough investigation. I do not have even an iota of faith and confidence upon the local administration. I would prefer that the entire investigation should be done under the tutelage, under the superintendence of the judicial.
Okay. So you want a court-monitored investigation?
Yes.
Sir, in one of your previous responses, you mentioned there might be some inimical forces behind this
Yes.
violence, but no one knows Murshidabad better than you. So do you think some non-mainstream political forces are also behind this?
Yes, certainly. Certainly. Why not? Because district is vulnerable. Pakistan, Bangladesh is under turmoil. So everything can be possible. Nothing could be ruled out. But the issue is why that state admission has been failed so miserably. They are like the crux of the questions.
West Bengal, as you mentioned, next election in less within a year. Last month, you had a meeting with the Congress High Command in Delhi regarding the elections, in the impending elections in Bengal. So, did you also have any talks on your continuing alliance with the left front, because you have contested the last few elections in Bengal in alliance with the left? So, did you have?
See, now, the Congress party in Bengal is not led by me, and there is no such kind of talk between state leaders and national leaders. Everything is in embryonic state. We have been directed to beef up our own organization.
Okay.
So this is, I think, premature right now to reply any questions as they have asked.
But if I talk about the Human Congress, you have always been very vocal against the DMC administration. Right from the very beginning, you are among the very few Congress leaders. But at the national level, you continue to have some understanding. This is part of the India
principle. There may be some principle, alliance with them. Because what is sometimes their narrative and Congress party narrative may be the same, may be identical. That does not mean that we have had any alliance. So this is all premature question.
One of the criticisms that has emerged during this episode is also against the person who defeated you, Captain Human Congress, Yusufat. So as violence unfolded in this area, he posted something on social media, some pictures where he appeared to be relaxing and he faced a lot of criticism. So do you have anything to say?
See, I do not have any personal animosity against any individual who say that. It will be judged by the common people. I don't have any comment on it.
Thank you. Thank you.